Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, and a big shout out to my moderator Peter for suggesting I check out this video by this channel called Evil Food Supply, some nameless, faceless channel where they just narrate over other people's work or just copy directly other people's work, never show their faces, no responsibility. Anyway, they made a video about how evil soy is. Like Peter wrote me, he said, you gotta check this out. They say soy is gonna give you cancer and make you fat and give you man boobs. So anyway, let's jump right in.
But is non-GMO soy better? No! Any kind of soy is bad for you.
So how'd you catch that? All soy is bad. Not only GMO, which they ran it on for about 10 minutes there, but just regular, organic, non-GMO soy is bad. Like, citation needed? Bad in what way? I actually have evidence to suggest that what you're saying is a pile of shit. For example, if soy were so horrible and unsafe for humans to consume, why is it a fact that Asians have been consuming soy for at least 2,000 and perhaps 4,000 years, and they didn't all get fat and grow man boobs? Furthermore, let's look at what Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health has to say about the healthfulness of soy, a far better resource for nutrition information than some random guy on the internet with the evil food channel blog. Anyway, results of recent population studies suggest that soy has either a beneficial or at worst a neutral effect on various health conditions and is likely to provide health benefits, especially when eaten as an alternative to red and processed meat. And even soybean oil, which has been highly demonized by these anti-plant foods peoples, the National Institutes of Health say that when soybean oil replaces foods high in saturated fat, evidence indicates risk of CHD and perhaps risk of other chronic diseases is reduced. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I could keep going on and on. So what are you going to believe? Like Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, National Institutes of Health, or this rando saying this whack crap?
But is non-GMO soy better? No! Any kind of soy is bad for you.
Okay, well, let's see your evidence.
Because remember, soy has phytoestrogens in them. Phytoestrogens are naturally occurring plant compounds that are structurally similar to estrogen. One scientist in Canada,
All right, this ought to be awesome. One scientist in Canada, that's his science here,
found that boys who ate high amounts of soy early on in life had smaller testes compared to boys who didn't. They also had low libido, low testosterone, and erectile dysfunction.
What? Measuring erection in children? There's no effing way this is a study that got through the ethics boards that review scientific research proposals. This is crazy.
Soy was also found to cause reduced fertility and abnormal embryo development in female mice.
Oh God, still can't get over that one study you talked about there. But let's look at how disingenuous this person is. So he's going to talk about soy being fed to rodents and there's some infertility. I mean, sounds scary. He's trying to make you assume this is the case for humans, but the human studies just simply don't show that. But wonder why he doesn't talk about that in this video. For instance, this recent study in the Journal of Nutrition Science entitled The Role of Soy and Soy Isoflavones on Women's Fertility and Related Outcomes, an update. And it says a suggestive positive influence has been shown among women with fertility issues and during assisted reproductive technologies. Overall, soy and soy components consumptions does not seem to perturb healthy women's fertility and can have a favorable effect among subjects seeking pregnancy. And in this article on Healthline, which again is a boring site, it's not some vegan activist site, they reflect the general scientific consensus. And about soy and fertility, they say, some research suggests that women eating soy-rich diets may benefit from improved fertility. Yeah, I see exactly why now he didn't mention any of these human studies, only the rat studies. And speaking of the rat studies, there's more that he cited and it gets worse.
And abnormal growth of breast cells in male rats, also known as man boobs.
So you heard it here. Supposedly the rats grew man boobs, and we're supposed to infer from that, well, if the rats grew man boobs, if you eat soy as a man, you will too grow man boobs. Let's see if there's any truth to this, or is this some stupid myth that's spread around the internet? So when I did a quick Google search on it, the AI overview said, well, the idea of soy causing man boobs is a common concern. The scientific evidence suggests that it is a myth. And again, if you go looking for more articles that reflect the boring mainstream scientific consensus, not bloggers from paleo guys and stuff like that. Like, for instance, the Washington Post, does drinking soy milk cause men's breasts to go bigger? Studies generally do not support the notion that drinking soy milk will cause men to grow breasts or experience any other feminizing effects. But sadly, this evil food supply YouTuber guy has no idea about any of this science and goes off on this rant of nonsense.
There's a reason why men aren't as manly as they used to be. And it might be because they're eating way more soy than they should.
I mean, that's just ludicrous on so many levels. I mean, is he serious? He really wants us to believe that the reason why men are overweight now and supposedly not as tough as they were in the past is because all these guys are just eating all this soy. They don't eat much meat anymore. That's news to me. But anyway, let's take a closer look at that photo he posted there. So those dudes on the top half of the screen, I assume that's what he's talking about, the days of bygone past. For me, this looks like the 1970s, like when I grew up, when men were really men because they weren't eating soy. But the males that you see down below, those bodies are produced by people that are eating soy, like way too much soy. That's what caused them to have those figures. Like, are you effing serious? Like, you really think those guys on the bottom ate a few too many soy burgers, and that's why they don't look like the young surfer guys on the top half? Really?
But it's not just these hormonal effects you need to worry about. Soy also has phytic acid, which acts as a nutrient blocker. So eating soy may block minerals like iron and zinc from absorbing into your body.
I mean, anyone surprised that he brought up anti-nutrients? Like, so many of these anti-vegans just repeat crap they've heard from other people without doing any basic research. Oh, there's anti-nutrients in plants, there's phytic acids in legumes and soy, so they block the uptake of nutrients. Well, instead of listening to your dumb friends that are reading crap blogs on the internet, let's once again look at a respected source of health information. Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health once again, and they have this fine article on anti-nutrients, and they clearly state that many anti-nutrients, like phytates in legumes, can be removed or deactivated by soaking, sprouting, or boiling the food before eating. Meaning no one in their right mind eats a raw legume, a raw soybean. They're inedible. You have to boil them and cook them and therefore deactivate the anti-nutrients. So they're a moot point. Yes, there might be some anti-nutrients in the raw form, but once you eat them, they're gone. So why do you guys keep bringing up this stupid point for? I know why, to scare people.
So what's the point of eating it at all?
I don't know, because it's a healthy food. It helps lower cholesterol levels, may help protect heart health, may lower your blood pressure, may lower blood sugar, may improve fertility, may reduce menopause symptoms, may improve bone health, may improve the risk of breast cancer. So why shouldn't we eat them then? Oh, because rats grew man boobs. Yeah, I remember. So if you had a good laugh so far at all his misinformation about soy, just hold on. Now he shifts gear and goes on to this wacky, zany conspiracy theory, like the world's governments are forcing people to eat soy as the main food of the world. Check it out.
The corn and wheat, too. Why? Because soy, corn, and wheat are economy crops. Which means when crazy things happen like floods, disasters, or wars, and food is scarce and food prices go up, these economy crops will come to the rescue and prevent panic.
What? So like when crazy shit starts happening in the world, people are gonna just eat soy? That's why all this is happening? That's why Americans are getting obese and soy's being pushed on us, so when there's a great flood or catastrophe, we're all just gonna eat soy?
That way, instead of buying their usual steak for dinner, citizens can just enjoy that texturized soy protein loaf thingy or that brick of fake cheese instead, and they won't bat an eye.
Do you have any evidence for this wild assertion? I bet you do. There are probably some crazy blogs and videos on YouTube, right?
Having these economy grains branded as health foods is like a type of insurance for the government to prevent riots, revolts, and scary things like that. We don't want things to ever get that far. So we'll just feed them these nutrient-void, toxic grains instead.
Firstly, soy is a legume, not a grain. Secondly, it's not toxic. It's actually considered a health food by the evidence-based information sources I cited earlier. Thirdly, it's not devoid of all nutrients. Soybeans are a nutrient-rich food boasting high-quality protein, fiber, and essential vitamins and minerals like potassium, iron, and folate. They also contain healthy fats, particularly polyunsaturated fatty acids. I mean, soy is so far from being nutrient void, your hyperbole is off the charts.
And that is why soy is one of the most subsidized crops in America, with over $44.9 billion in soy subsidies from 1995 to 2020.
So that's your evidence of this government conspiracy? Well, how do you address the fact that livestock subsidies got about double that in that same time frame? Is there evidence of a beef conspiracy? The government pushing beef on us, we'll have beef in case there's a giant asteroid hitting the Earth?
Which means they take money out of your pocket and give it to soy farmers.
And your livestock farmers too. Don't forget to include them. See, this is how this guy cherry picks. He just puts in the information he wants and conveniently leaves out the stuff that makes his argument not as strong. And I need to refute his whole argument here that the government is subsidizing soy farmers so they can grow all these soy crops so we'll have this catastrophe food for humans to eat. The reality is humans eat very little soy of the soy grown here in the United States. According to the Soybean Association of America, approximately 90% of soy is fed to livestock. So there goes your whole stupid, stinking conspiracy theory, as well as all the misinformation that you presented earlier. I know what you're trying to do here. This is just another anti-vegan propaganda video designed specifically to deceive people with misinformation, cherry picking, straw manning, all the stuff that Paul Saladino does, as I described in my last video, how I did an AI breakdown of all the logical fallacies that Saladino does. This guy, Evil Food Supply, does the same exact stuff. You guys have nothing. You guys are just full of crap and will just... That's all you can do is just lie about plants, plant-based diets in order to promote whatever. I don't know what you're doing. Who's paying you? What's your end goal? Why does this keep happening? If you guys have any ideas, even if they're wacky conspiracy theories, let me know down in the questions and comments below. Why is this happening? Why do I have to respond? Well, I don't have to, but I feel compelled to respond to all this misinformation. Anyway, let me know what's up. Hit like if you like this video, share this video, and remember to come to my Friday live streams, especially if you thought everything I said here was wrong and you believe all this nonsense about catastrophes and soy giving people man boobs. Last time I checked, I didn't have any yet after 14 years of being vegan. Come to my Friday live streams. Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be civil, and we can probably have a conversation. So until then, guys, until Friday, remember, it doesn't like being vegan.